I've been seeing a lot of those birthday trends recently on Instagram. You know, the one where someone fills their mouth with baking powder and blows out candles, resulting in these huge flames that kind of make them look like a dragon. Or the one where they shake up a bottle of bubbly and hit it on a park bench and it explodes into the air and they get this really cool black and white photo. Or there's that other one where people sit behind a cake and it says 24 and someone switches out the 2 and changes it to a 3 because they're actually 34 and they don't know where the time went. Well, I really wanted to do one of those trends, but the problem was that I felt a little bit silly doing it because why would I do that? Last year for my birthday, I actually organized this really big weekend away with my friends and I booked an Airbnb right on the beach. We had a private yoga class in the morning overlooking the ocean. I cooked a 3-course dinner and organized a murder mystery party, and I spent months shopping looking for the perfect dinnerware to match the theme. It was the most that I had done for my birthday in years. Well, last week, my birthday rolled around again, and while I didn't plan anything big like the year before or hop on any Instagram trends, I did do something else. A trend, I guess you could call it, of people in their mid-30s who quit their jobs with zero plan for where to step next. So I've been thinking about this topic for a while, mainly because when you're unemployed, there's like not much else to think about. I guess in a way, when I had a job, it made being unhappy with what I was doing with my life much easier because I was distracted and busy all the time. But once I quit my job, it gave me time and ultimately space to get creative with the way that I fill my time. In planning for this video, I did a little bit of research on the mid-30s crisis, which is apparently a thing, so you don't have to feel that alone if you're also going through this with me. One article from The Atlantic told me that 30-year-olds are unhappier than ever. So that's a really fun stat for us to start with. But I guess what I wanted to know is why I feel this way and maybe what I should do about it. I found an article on MyLife Psychologists which outlined 4 things that can affect our mental health as we enter into our 30s. Those are identity, career, social comparison, and emotional processing. So let's start with identity. This one made the most sense to me. In our 20s, we expect ourselves to be figuring things out, to be making mistakes. But as we head into our 30s, we kind of expect ourselves to have that figured out. I have such fond memories of my 20-year-old self. She had wild hair colors and got questionable tattoos. She moved to France, partied till 3 a.m., started working ski seasons, and genuinely just made so many mistakes, but so many memories along the way. But I think the key was that she felt like she could and that she had all the time in the world. As I moved into my 30s, I thought I would find more stability. I thought I would find some stillness in my life and stop and smell the roses, as it were. However, 4 years in, I'm finding that that's not the case. And I don't think I'm done figuring it out, and I don't want to be. Number 2 on the list was career. Now, there's 2 parts to this. The first part is, apparently, as we enter our 30s, we end up in higher positions with more responsibility, which is ultimately stressing us out. Couple this responsibility with all the other things that tend to happen in your 30s, like buying a house, having babies, getting married. I can understand why all this additional responsibility is sending us into a little bit of a crisis. On the other hand, however, maybe you find yourself in a position, like me, where you thought that you would be in that higher position, and you're not. My friend and I were chatting along this topic the other day, and she asked the question, why are we all so focused on careers? What's wrong with just having a job? And honestly, I couldn't agree more. In an Atlantic article that I read, which I'll link down below, they said 64% of today's high school students expect to be a manager or a professional by age 30, which is up from 48% in 1976. So 64% expect to be managers by their 30s. They went on to say that people who actually attain these jobs has held steady at about 18% since the 1970s. So just to confirm, 64% expect to be there, but only 18% end up getting there. That's a whopping 46% who don't actually reach that goal, who are stressed out about it, and the 18% that did reach that goal are also stressed. So either way, your career is probably stressing you out. Number 3 is social comparison, and I think social comparison plays into the first 2 points really nicely as well. The first one I'm going to touch on very briefly because I don't think you need to hear it any more than I need to hear it. Social media
is a thief of joy. Instagram is a highlight reel. Your algorithm is feeding you what you pause on. Social media is convincing you to buy things you do not need to impress people you do not know.
All of which is making us unhappy. So, we know it's a problem. We've all got the apps on our phones to block social media, blah, blah, blah. And look, I'm the first to say that I absolutely scroll social media and I see all the travel vloggers out there and I kind of wish that that was me. And maybe that's why I'm here talking to you today. Outside of social media, though, are our real life friends that we are also comparing ourselves to. Now, I find this one interesting because I have 2 very distinct group of friends. I have worked ski seasons, but then I also have my friends that I've known basically since childhood. And both groups of people are in very different places in their life. I find myself comparing my life to both groups of people. So, first, my friends that are married, they have houses, they have babies. We all go on group camping trips together, and I get to watch their kids growing up, hanging out and interacting, and honestly, it just brings me so much joy, and I want some of that. On the other hand, I have a bunch of ski friends that jump from country to country, living their best life, skiing mountains, and just taking amazing photos of their travels. However, I think we all need to take a step back and really consider what it took for these people to have the life that they have, and is that the right path for you? Now, I love my ski friends, and I know that they won't be offended when I say that ski resorts can be very isolating unless you're really into partying every other night. And it's really hard to escape your job or any kind of work drama when you live there. On the other hand, my married friends with babies, what it took for them to be where they are today would involve a lot of sacrifice in my life on things that I'm probably not willing to sacrifice at this stage. The last one is emotional processing. Now, I want to acknowledge that this is from a psychology website that is leading into prompting me to book psychology sessions with them. However, I still think this one stands true. Apparently, in our 30s, we start to process our emotions more. Unlike in our 20s, when we just stayed busy and tried to shove it all down. We all know that we need to deal with our emotions, and going to see a therapist or a psychologist can be really important for our mental health. However, it also seems to be stressing us out. Basically, what I learned from this article is we need to stop pretending that we're going to have everything figured out in our 30s. We need to stop comparing ourselves to our friends and everyone on the internet. We need to not have high-stress careers and not hope that we have high-stress careers. And we need to go to therapy. Or not go to therapy. I'm confused on that last point. Is that what you got? The other thing that really stood out to me during my research was this theory that happiness equals reality divided by expectations. And that kind of got me thinking about my expectations of my life. And I realized that I'd kind of doubled up my expectations for myself. So on the one hand, I have my should be expectations, which are like those societal ones that we all kind of feel, to have a good job, buy a house, get married, have a baby, all of those things. That is what I feel like I should be doing with my life. And then I have my want to expectations, and those are my personal expectations about what I should be doing with my life. So those things are like, I think I should be traveling the world. I think I should be going on more adventures, spending more times with friends, going on big road trips with these big groups of friends. I don't know who has that many friends, but you kind of get my point. My should be expectations and my want to expectations. And I've doubled them up, and I kind of feel like I feel pulled between these two lives that I feel like I should be living. And in reality, my reality looks completely different to that. Although I am trying to lean into the things that I actually want to do with my life. I guess that's what this video is about, and what I'm hoping the rest of this year will be about. Me leaning into those things that feel right for how I want to live my life, not how I should be living my life. Circling right around, I found myself in a stressful job doing not a lot of the things that I really wanted to do and feeling kind of lost. So I quit. And when I quit, I had a vague plan of some things that I wanted to do. And in true Steph style, that has changed. Because I think I gave myself the space to kind of sit with what it was I wanted to do. And I realized that there's still a lot of life that I have left to live. 34 is actually really young. And I have a majority of my life still ahead of me. Here's hoping. Or God willing, whatever they say. But I think what I've decided for the next 12 months is to live a really big, bold, potentially foolish life. To go back to that idea that it's okay to make mistakes and relive my 20s. I'm here to make mistakes. Yes, I'm older and wiser, and I do know more of what I want, so a lot of my mistakes aren't going to be as foolish, because I do have an idea of what I want. Like, I'm not going out partying till 3 a.m. My idea of a lovely night in is sitting on the couch knitting, watching Netflix, or hanging out with friends at a bar with a 10 p.m. bedtime. And that's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on making sure that I'm choosing the things that actually feel right in my body. Now, do I have some big plans for this year? Absolutely. And I'm so excited to be documenting them, to be completely honest with you. I want to document these things and share them with you. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video enough that maybe you want to follow along and see what it's like to be figuring out life in your 30s when you don't want to fit the status quo. So, on that note, I would like to say a big thank you for watching this video today. Making it anyway through my video, let alone all the way to the end, is honestly so lovely. I mean, truly. If you would like to support me, obviously a like, comment, follow, whatever you would like to do, I would greatly appreciate that. If not, I hope that I pop back up in your feed again and you have enjoyed this content and you take something from it. And if you haven't, no problems. The internet is a vast place. You will find something that suits you. Just like the world is a vast place, we will all find something that's, wow, that's so poetic. I'm so poetic. Okay. I need to go. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Stop. Why do I keep saying stop and then stopping? It's so frustrating. Hey, did I tell you I was having a 30-year-old crisis? I don't even know if I said that at the beginning. Okay, apparently I did. Great.